One might ask, why would the University of Utah, an academic institution situated in a predominantly LDS community, launch a program in Jewish studies? According to Professor Meira Schreiber, the program's director, our unique religious landscape is indeed central to the program's rationale, offering an ideal opportunity to explore the links between religion, culture, ethnicity, and identity in order to deepen an understanding and appreciation for one's own faith tradition, as well as to advance a finer tolerance for religious and cultural difference.
We have a very active Jewish community in Salt Lake City. We are also the only, I believe, Pac-12 university without a prominent Jewish studies program.
Well, it's certainly unique to have it at the U, but it's not unique in general to have a Jewish studies program. In fact, Jewish studies programs are on the rise throughout the nation.
Even before I arrived here, I was pleasantly surprised by an outpouring of expressions of welcome and of gladness that the university was expanding its offerings in Jewish studies. I was also very happy to have the chance to work with Professor Meira Schreiber, who was an award-winning, very well-known scholar of American Jewish life and culture, and I had known about her work long before coming here. So when I arrived and we were discussing what to do with these offerings, we decided that what we had for the moment was not enough, and that there was a great potential here to expand all things Jewish studies related on campus.
When the idea of a cross-cultural Jewish studies program at the University of Utah was presented to some members of the local community, their responses were encouraging and welcoming.
There's a certain kind of rich quality to this that I really like, and I think it's going to have legs here. I think we're ready now in this culture to welcome a Jewish studies program at the U.
Great potential intersections between the Mormon studies program and the Jewish studies program in ways that would put this particular program on the map, because I don't know of any programs at any other university in the country where that intersection is as potentially prominent as it is here, particularly in terms of the vibrant Jewish community and, of course, the dominant community in Utah.
Anything that creates communication between the various groups is important, and in Salt Lake City, because of the degree of lack of understanding and to some extent of mutual respect on both sides towards the various religions, we need to have this opportunity to speak with each other.
Judaism has a rich vocabulary for talking about identity. Our program stresses how Jewishness has both shaped and been shaped by encountering others. Professor Digny Herzig fosters and encourages an environment of dialogue and cultural understanding amongst her students in her courses on spoken Hebrew and Israeli culture.
Originally I'm Palestinian, so that was really interesting to me to know more about the culture there and looking at similarities and more than differences.
In April 2013, the Peace and Conflict Resolution in Israel program was inaugurated when Professor Meira Schreiber led 9 students into an environment that would extend their breadth of cultural experiences beyond the classroom and into a living laboratory, home to uniquely diversified groups of peoples.
And there were some moments of coming together as people who were very different. I was very different than my students, and they were very different from each other. And yet we became a group, and that experience is central to the kinds of things that we hope to achieve with this program.
There are a lot of people that I've known that have gone and done a study abroad or a semester abroad in Israel. There are a lot of people that I've known that have gone on, like a Christian history tour and seen those sites. But to go to Palestine and spend an evening with Palestinian families and seeing how they feel about things and seeing the wall art and the symbolism that's behind that, it's just it's the kind of program that you don't get anywhere else.
It wasn't just like taking a test, get it over with. It was something that it's like, this is going to carry on to my other classes, and it's going to carry with me the rest of my life, the way that I think about the Holocaust and think about the history of Judaism, and completely changed the way I think about the Jewish faith and the Holocaust.
I felt like, what if like, I face like, problems just because I'm from Jordan and Palestinian. What if and what if not? And then I said like, no, Mana, just like, go and try. Thank God I didn't like, follow my fear. And yeah, I just signed up for the class. Yeah, I'm glad I did that.
The Cross-Cultural Jewish Studies program at the University of Utah will take a wholly novel approach in moving away from just academic programs. Instead, the interdisciplinary program will be a dynamic site for staging powerful, sometimes difficult, but ultimately transformative dialogues, where persons of different traditions can encounter each other. This program will actively encourage students to put their mirrors down, that is, to stop seeing a version of themselves, and give the strategies requisite to meeting the other.
All real living is in the meeting. And that idea of Jewish studies being the place where the meeting happens and where we meet others who are not like ourselves, and we are transformed by those encounters, is an incredible opportunity for the University of Utah.
We're thinking about internships, we're thinking about service learning, we're thinking about community service, we're thinking about how to extend the classroom experience into the community.
I think the classes have given me more of an opportunity to be able to focus on the things that I love, be able to sit down and write out a well-thought paper. So yeah, I think it's pushed me to just be a better student in general, those courses.
I talk to a lot of employers in the community and nationally, and when I ask them what is the thing that they most need, they usually say good writing and communication skills.
But I think that's why like-minded people need to come together and to boost it up, to make it better. I've been really kind of surprised that there aren't more people involved. So I would really hope and wish that more people become involved and more students start signing up for the courses.
I see like no reason why you would not want to expand your knowledge on this.
There's a lot of stuff that we can do, a lot of good, so I think it really builds respect for all of the different faiths. I think that's really important in our world today.
It's going to have a powerful impact, not only in the life of the University of Utah, but I think for the society here as a whole.
We encourage you to take part in this cross-cultural Jewish studies initiative by pledging your financial support. Please visit the website below, and in behalf of the University of Utah, we thank you.
Adonai.